leaders in Marshall County. I just want to give you a very brief update on my campaign. Question: how many days until Election Day is it? 31. 31. 1 month from the day. Can you believe it? 1 month from the day. Um, before I say that, I just want to know, I know that it's a tough time in our country, and Democrats and Republicans, we're all Americans, we're all children of God, and what's happened with the president, his sickness, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's happened to over 200,000 dead. It's horrible that 46,000 people tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 24 hours. It's horrible that 1,000 Americans have died in the past 24 hours, including 12 right here in Tennessee. And that's why I got into this race. I was one of the only candidates in the country to file papers after COVID-19. It's the reason I decided to do this. For me, that's the number one issue in November. It'll be the number one issue of the next year, is beating COVID-19. It'd been unimaginable to you if in March, when this began, that you would think in October that we'd still be wearing masks, that we still be doing this. And you've got to understand, it didn't have to be this way. For 70 days, Scott Desjardins knew this virus was coming. He was briefed. He knew this virus was coming to destroy Tennessee lives and livelihoods, and he didn't do anything to stop it. And after the virus came, he did nothing to help us. He's voted no on every major piece of legislation that has helped Tennessee communities. No on the small business loan. No on free rapid testing. No on paid sick leave. He says it's up to you to figure it out. It's up to you to figure it out. And we see how it's working for the President of the United States this very day. So very briefly, I just want to say thank you so much for being here. And I'm here to ask for your help. This campaign has set records left and right. In 6 months, we have over 5,000 donors to this campaign. I have donations from every state in this country. All 50 states have invested in this campaign. The average contribution online is $33. I think that makes Bernie Sanders happy. We have invested in every county in this congressional district, and we are the only campaign that can say that we outraised the incumbent by a 5-1 margin. But more importantly, and you know this in the flesh, we have out-organized Scott Desjardins 100-1. We have over 600 volunteers who made 350,000 contacts. That is more contacts with Tennessee voters than any campaign in this entire state, Democrat or Republican. 16 counties, and we're running the strongest grassroots campaign in the history of Tennessee. So I'm here today simply to ask for your support, ask for your help. We had an internal poll come out 2 weeks ago. And this might not mean a lot to some of you, but it'll mean a hell of a lot to a lot of you. We are within single digits of Scott Desjardins. I want you to understand what a big deal that is. The last two candidates who ran great races lost by 30 points. This summer, we made up 20. It's because we hustled. It's because we went anywhere and everywhere. We've gotten the zip code after zip code after zip code. There are 250 communities in this 16 congressional districts, and before Election Day is done, I will step foot in every one of them. I'm going to end this campaign by going on a walk across Tennessee from Colioca to Spring City. I'm walking 170 miles across Tennessee because I want to be there with you and your families. Congressman Desjardins has not stepped foot in Marshall County for a town hall in 9 years. I was not eligible for this office 9 years ago. I had a lot more hair 9 years ago. I was still in college 9 years ago. He's never shown up for you. He doesn't know you. He doesn't know your names. He doesn't know your kids. He doesn't know your joys, your hopes, your sufferings, your anxieties. I do. I'm running this campaign like I live my life, on the move, close to people and their families, close to your sufferings. So I'm asking for your support. There's 3 ways you can help me in the final days of this campaign. Number 1, you can make a donation, contribution. Your contributions today will help me a lot more than your contributions on Halloween. Halloween money doesn't help campaigns on November 3rd. October 2 money does. October 3 money does. Every donation we get goes to our campaign, the strongest grassroots movement in Tennessee history, and all donations now dollars. Will someone pledge today to give $1 to this campaign? I want you to note that at home who's watching. Everyone in Marshall County just said they're going to curtail some money. So everyone at home, I need your help too. The way you can do that is we can fulfill that right here today. You can write a check to Christopher Hale for Tennessee. We have a card reader, or you can do cash. And we promise you'll be the best investment you made this year. It goes to this movement. The second thing is, and this gets people the most excited, is these signs. These Hell Yes signs. These are the most popular signs in Tennessee politics. We have nearly 2,000 of them in the ground. We're going to try to get 10,000 in the ground by election day. So these are going out exponentially, very quickly. Guy named Joseph from Murray County, Spring Hill, the very top northwest corner of this district. In the middle of summer, Joseph was leaving his work at General Motors, and he saw a Hell Yes sign. And he's like, I love this. This is hilarious. And he looked me up. He found out he liked what I stood for, had a decent smile, seemed to be like for Tennesseans, it's for Tennessee workers. So Joseph said, I'm voting him. And then he went to church about 3 weeks later in Columbia, and he found out the bad news from one of his fellow congregants. Chris Hale is a Democrat. A Democrat. And Joseph was shocked. Joseph did not know Democrats existed in this community. He assumed that everyone who could afford a big yard sign was a Republican. So this is really important. Joseph, 43 years old, asked himself for the first time, who is my congressman? For the first time ever, he Googled, who is my congressman? It was the first time he had ever heard of Scott Desjardins in his 43 years of adult life. First time he ever heard of Scott Desjardins. Pro-life Joseph Googled Scott Desjardins. Devout Christian Joseph Googled Scott Desjardins. Faithful spouse Joseph Googled Scott Desjardins. You know what he found. Joseph, lifelong Republican, is voting Chris Hale. He's a Hell Yes voter because the first thing he saw was a sign, not a party. It gave him a chance to actually compare me against his opponent. So these signs are not just merchandise. They're actually doors, entryways into this organization, into this community, into the strongest grassroots campaign in Tennessee's history. 2,000 in the ground. Will someone today sponsor a sign and take one home? Will they put them in Lewisburg, somewhere in this community? Will you help me get my name and my message out? Thank you. Take a sign too at home. You can go to ChristopherHale.com/HellYes to get one of those signs. And the final thing, and this is the scariest thing, I need volunteers. Now, here's the thing about it. I'm 31 years old. I'm a millennial. So I'm in that in-between world where I like texting and I like calling, but I don't always choose one or the other. If you do not like calling people, if you're a Zoomer and all you do is text, we got a program for you. You don't have to pick up the phone. You can just simply text. However, if you're a little bit technologically deficient and want to do some traditional phone calls, we can do that. It's really important. If you don't have to do persuasion calls if you don't want to in this campaign. If you want to call people you're comfortable talking to, like people that we know are probably going to vote for us, we just need to make sure you can do it. Because what we do is every day my campaign finds out who our top supporters are. We have about 24,000 top supporters that we've identified. We've done the work and said, you're in my vote. When you find us a top supporter, you know what we do? We put them in there and we make sure we don't use resources on them. Television's expensive. Mailers are expensive. All this stuff's expensive. So we know they're in Noah's Ark, and so we go find some other people to put in the Ark. So I'm asking today, will some of you volunteer right now to do 1 hour of volunteering for this campaign? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I promise you, it is the best thing you can do to this campaign. If you can't do that, please give a check and take a sign. But volunteer. We're going to win this election. All of America has invested in this election. Think about that. Right here in Marshall County, the entire country is looking to Marshall County because they know that we can do better than Scott Desjardins. America is embarrassed for us that Congressman Desjardins is our congressman, so they've thrown resources and their time and their energy into this race. But here's my question for you. Do you know we're going to win this race? In 30 days, I'm going to make my last commute through rural Tennessee. I'm going to do that walk, and I'm going to be here in Marshall County. And what you do not know now, you will know then. You're looking at your next congressman. We're going to win this race. We're going to take down Scott Desjardins. We're going to win an historic election. But I need your help. I need your support. We'll take questions. My staff will go ahead and they'll come around. If you raised your hand, they saw you, and we'll figure out how you want to fulfill that pledge today for this campaign. And if you want a yard sign and stuff, we'll take care of that right now. but we'll take any questions you have right now. Do you have any questions for me? Good? Good? Folks, really appreciate it. I will be back again and again and again. I started my day at a 5K in Shelbyville. My time was horrible. I went down to Colmont, going to Altamont and Pikeville, and then we're going back to Murfreesboro, and then tomorrow we're going to Shelbyville, and then tomorrow we're going to Laverne. Here's the point. I'm going everywhere because we're going to win this election. So really appreciate it. Thank y'all.